Hello everybody, today I will be covering my top 10 favorite deaths in Absurd Arena. So no, this is my opinion, and this is just what I think. So yeah, let's get started. So real quick, just to introduce you guys to Absurd Arena if you're new to the channel. It's basically a series where I have my creatures fight each other. Gory Battlegrounds premise will be like a mix of Absurd Arena, Dinosaur DFG, and some exclusive fighters. Like if I get better at stick making, I'm gonna put Toga in there, just Toga, no one else, and like I'll have some exclusive fighters there. Absurd Arena is all of my creatures fighting. They have 78 episodes so far. 81. It says 81 right here because there's like some extra stuff like a resound, a couple of resounds and something like that. So yeah. So at number 10. Well, first off, let's get some honorable mentions. First off, the first ever episode, Grave Robber versus Geyserus, where it all started. So basically, with the Grave Robber, what it's doing is that basically it picks up the Geyserus, which is trying to defeat the Grave Robber, as you can see. Like look at this guy's size, and then it gets a bit of flesh taken out of it, torn off its back, and if that didn't kill it, the force of it hitting the ground would did. So essentially, the Geyserus wouldn't have even survived if it survived getting flesh taken off of its body. I give it points because, well, it's the first fight in the series. So this little screen is trying to eliminate gore effects here because it didn't have. There's no gore effects on Paint 3D or photos. So yeah. First honorable mention out of the way. We have 3 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 2 is the Rep versus the Naga, a giant genetically modified. So basically, since the Rep doesn't have any arms to like knock down the Naga with, the Naga the Rep's neck from its head. I don't even need to explain here. This loses some points because of how the gore here was executed, so yeah. And the last honorable mention will go to... Actually, I don't have another honorable mention. So let's just get right into the list. Alright, at number 10, Tetherus versus Tetheract. So basically here, the Tetherus slices the Tetheract's neck and blood like spurts out a bit. The thing here is that Tetherus has a big advantage. Arms. When the Tetheract tries knocking down the Tetherus, only on the ground, and then, like how a lot of movies depict Velociraptor with its toe claws, the Tetherus pierces the skull of the Tetheract with its talon, which kills the Tetheract instantly. this is at number. This loses a couple points for not showing any visual gore. We didn't see like the tether like a wound right here. We just saw the blood that came out, not the wound, and we don't see like the head getting cracked open. Like the tower. It gets some points from for the effects, but the execution and the fact that there's no like wounds gets it down to number 10. I will not be counting rampages on these lists. So yeah, trying to find a good one. And number 9 is Moirasuchus versus Acrocanthosaurus fortinus. So first off, I love the tail move. How I did the tail movement here. It's really cool. But mainly, although it has gore in it, but it's not a lot of gore. Yet it manages to get above Tetherus versus Tetheract. For one, the fact that this is the episode where I improved significantly. And two, you can actually see the wounds. So the death of Acro just getting slammed on the ground it just somehow kills it. Though it wouldn't have even survived, it would have bled out since originally I was gonna have Moirasuchus be a Spinosaurid, but then Meme God decided to have it be a Carcharodontosaur, and I actually like that idea of Moirasuchus being a Carcharodontosaur instead of a Spinosaur, so that's why I made Moirasuchus a Carcharodontosaur. So uh, ew, I got soda on me. So basically, Moirasuchus. Well, the gore here is a bit lazy though, because it's just this bit of flesh and like a cut. That's why it's so low on the list. It gets points for you can see the wounds, and it's where I improved on when animating. At number 8, we have Therizinosaurus edwardensis versus Archaeopteryx. First off, what the hell is that? Okay, so the first problem is you don't see the wound of the Theri like shoving its arm in Archaeo's chest. Secondly, it just flies across the arena. Secondly, the blood is a bit of an ouch. It managed to make to get be higher it managed to get higher than a Moirasuchus versus Acrocanthosaurus because um basically hang on. Alright, so basically the this was just showing off some of the new gore that I had. So yeah, I don't have much for it. Doesn't gain any points, doesn't lose, and it just loses a lot, but it manages to get higher than a lot of the other episodes. Trying to find a gory one. Here's a fairly recent one. At number 7, Grave Robber vs. Snallygaster. Well, you didn't see the gore there. And basically, this gains 3 points and loses a couple. First off, this was one of the episodes I managed to animate with while talking to Meme God. Secondly, this is Grave Robber's first ever loss. And third, it's this death where the opponent stretches out its enemy's jaw. Is a very uncommon death in Absurd Arena. I think the first episode to do that was Archaeovenator versus Arier. I think we've had some others like Tesseract versus Arier, then like there are some others. So yeah. Grave Robber versus Snallygaster loses a couple points for how the gore was executed, and the fact that you don't see a bite mark on the Snally's head from Grave Robber biting it. So yeah, it's a little bit high up on the list at number 7. What could I have for number 6? Wait, is this number 8 or number 6? I forget. Yeah, no, it's number 7. Now, at number 6, we have Tesseract, Snallygaster versus Tesseract Rematch. Okay, this mainly gets 1 point for using the new Snally and Tesseract. But it's mainly just lazy. The execution of the death was just lazy, just having this Snallygaster tear off the Tesseract's head. But at least you see the flesh from the neck. I don't have much to say on this one, so yeah. But now we're moving on to our top 5. Okay, a lot of the more recent ones are a bit gory. So at number 5, we have Indian Devil versus Sumatra Man. Now, if you've seen this episode, you might be wondering why it's so low on the list. Well, first off, I have my reasonings. First off, it lost a point. Well, this is mainly like a main trope of Absurd Arena. Most of the fights are unfair. But come on! This could have been like a 50-50 fight, yet this fight is like very one-sided. Although Sumatra Nymph has a stronger bite than the Indian Devil, the Indian Devil has size and stealth. I am gonna say though, there are some pretty good bits of gore here. Especially the fact that you can see like this. As I was saying, you can see like the organs hanging out from the Sumatran end. And like you can see the bite mark, the claw marks, and like the flesh on the tail. It mainly got here for like part of the execution of the gore. I would have placed it a lot higher, but also the walking at the end is a little awkward. Though this is pretty funny, where the Indian Devil just tears off some of the flesh from the Sumatran end. So that's number 4. That's number 5. Now, in 4th place, we have the Titanfly versus Tree Stabber. You know this is going to be bloody when it has gore warning in the title. First off, I want to mention that a lot of the insects in the Absurd Arena don't have red blood. The Titanfly has green blood, Mega Claw has purple blood, Sarcovenator has like light blue. No, not Chestnut Centipede has light blue blood. Sarcovenator has like a yellow blood. A lot of the insects don't have red blood. The shock value, it mainly gets a couple points for referencing, what episode was it? Tree Stabber versus... For referencing episode 14. No, this isn't the same Tree Stabber from episode 14 that won. But it just shows that I like to reference some of the deaths here. Also, the fact that the Tree Stabber at least gets in a hit on the Titanfly's most vulnerable area, the eye. The gore execution was a bit lazy, but I like how you can, like, the organs are hanging out, and like this bit of flesh. It mainly gets a couple points for the fact that it references another episode, like an older episode, the organs hanging out, and at least the Tree Stabber tried defending itself. I would have put it a lot higher, but mainly the execution of the gore was a bit lazy. Sadly, in third place is White Dragon versus Black Dragon. This episode was the longest episode. Was one of the longest episodes. It was like second longest, first longest being like, not if you don't count the episode compilation. If you do, then it would be like third longest. In that case, and then fourth longest. Tesseract versus Snallygaster full version. And then Raptorosaurus Rampage came in, and now is third longest, fourth if you count the episode compilation. This gets a lot of points. First off, this was the first time showing the white dragon. Secondly, this is probably one of my best fights. The camera movement. Some of the gore execution was a bit weird. But it's still good. Also, the part where Black Dragon spits in the White Dragon's eyes. There's a lot of interesting uses of gore, but it's not a lot. Also, White Dragon biting off the Black Dragon biting off the White Dragon's eye. I'm planning to do a rematch at some point with the new Black Dragon. And also, I like the part where like the Black Dragon just eats the flesh on its hand. I thought that was funny. So this is in third place, sadly. So yeah. I'm also going to have a couple other honorable mentions. In second place, we have Titanfly versus Chestnut Centipede. Oh boy! 10 images taken before disaster, before the disaster strikes. This loses some points because since the Chestnut Centipede's blood is blue, it's not that bad as if its blood was red. But the poor thing, my god, that poor little puddle of blood. Also, the fact that it gets ripped apart off screen just adds up to the shock factor here. Like, you can see a lot of the flesh getting torn. So yeah, I have no words for this other than, my god, is it brutal. It only lost a point because the blood is blue. Now, I have a couple honorable mentions. First one, Limlasaurus / Protocarcharodontosaurus versus Valverosaurus. First off, there's a lot of blood in this, but I didn't count it because it's a little better. Mainly because, well, although you can see the wound, it's just my boring gore pack, not my like Alien Tyrant Lizard score. It mainly got here just because I put it there. So yeah. Second honorable mention is a very recent one actually. Emerald Dragon versus White Dragon. There isn't a lot of blood. Well, actually, why did I put this as an honorable mention? You can see like part of the blood on like the White Dragon's eye, but it's not enough. There's a lot of blood. Like the part where it starts that's cool, but the funny part is that this squadron like just comes out of nowhere. So yeah. Last honorable mention, Snallygaster versus Tesseract rematch. There's a lot of gore in this one, but it's not. Although I do like the part where you see like the Tesseract getting like snapped. So that was. So now, the number one spot for the most bloodiest absurd arena episode known to man. Besides episode 76. I already know that's gory. Also, although I'm not counting rampages, that gets an honorable mention, but that lost the point. Tesseract versus Area. Boy, did this game a lot. So using my lazy score is actually kind of effective. First off, the size here. Look how big Tesseract is compared to the Area. You would think the Area isn't capable of taking down the Tesseract. First off, the bit of gore here, where I have my edit of Rexog's catfish, like the Aerior's eating it. Then the Aerior tries biting the Tesseract's head off, but it gets slammed on the ground. Then here's the bloody part. The Aerior breaks the Tesseract's leg, like it literally. And if that's not enough, it literally stretches its head out and impales it on the ground. You might not think this is bloody, and you probably would think that I should have put like Titanfly versus Chestnut Centipede or like another really bloody episode over this one, but this one is, in my opinion, is the most bloody. Mainly because the shock factor of the Area taking down the Tesseract. Although if you watched episode 4, it's not really that surprising. I'm planning on doing an Area versus Snallygaster rematch. Or Area still wins. Like Area, if you have, although Snally technically kind of has arms now, it's still not gonna do much to Area. So yeah, that was my list. So basically, my top 5 were, fuck, I forgot. Crap, what was it, number 5? Was it number 5? So 5th place was, I'll have to rewatch the footage. Okay, I think I'm gonna try remembering, and if I don't remember, so number 5 was, fucking damn it. Oh no, number 4, 4th place was like, okay, I'll just do my top 3. White Dragon versus Black Dragon, original. Titanfly versus Chestnut Centipede, and Tesseract versus Area. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you think would be the top 5 bloodiest deaths in your opinion, and why. And yeah, subscribe, and also I'll leave a link to 173 sub stick pack.